Welcome to your iconic image. If you want to take control of your image and be a power player in your space, then this is the show for you. Here we will arm you with tools and information to help you grow your brand on purpose. I'm your host, Marlena Semenza, photographer and visual strategist. Now let's dive into today's episode. I just met a star. That's what I thought when I first met Payton Rose Velligan and saw her perform. She sings, plays piano, keyboards, guitar, bass, and occasionally a bit of tambourine, and kills the stage in her red boots. A public performer since the age of 5, she took her first professional steps at the age of 15, and at 21 is currently on tour with Tommy DeCarlo and Rudy Cardenas while still finishing up her music major at UNC. Believe me when I tell you, this girl is the total package, and I'm honored to know her. Welcome, Peyton.
Hi, Marlena. Thank you so much for that. That was so kind.
So tell us, how did you get into music in the first place?
Like any little kid, I love to mess around with the piano, and my parents were very musical. There was always music playing in our house, always on the stereo. My mom played piano. Just singing, dancing. I had a very musical upbringing. So I've loved music since an early age. I started taking piano lessons when I was 5 or 6. And I just never wanted to live my life without music in it. So that's kind of how it all started. And it just grew and grew from there, definitely.
So you play a lot of different instruments. Was that just out of curiosity that you kept picking them up, or out of necessity, or what?
A little bit of both, I guess. Definitely curiosity is a good way to put it. And love and wanting to emulate some of my heroes, probably, because like I said, I started out with piano, and then I picked up the guitar when I was 13 because my dad, he played. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And, I wanted to be like Jimmy Page or John Lennon, and I wanted to play. And I did pick up the bass out of necessity. Ironically, it might be my favorite instrument now. But I was in a 4-piece band in high school, and our bass player went off to college, and we were all sad, and we needed a bass player. So I thought I'd try it, and I ended up absolutely loving it. So we became a trio. And singing, I've just always loved to sing. And I had to find my confidence in singing, especially in front of other people. That was not something that came naturally. It was playing in front of other people, but I always loved to do it, at least when nobody was listening.
So how did you find your confidence? Because believe me, when you get on stage now, you own it. So
oh, thank you.
So where did that come from?
It took a while. It was, I actually owe a lot to my amazing, amazing teachers that I've had throughout the years. I would not be on stage, especially if it weren't for my guitar teacher. His name's Carl Gunther. And I started taking lessons from him when I was probably 14 or 15. And he really gave me the push that I needed to go out of my comfort zone. And that was something I struggled with, was stepping out of that, my little tiny box that I felt comfortable in. I think I was taking lessons from him for about 2 weeks only. And he had taught me the guitar solo to Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix, which I never even thought I could play a guitar solo up till that point. And he said, hey, we're having a little concert at this pizza place nearby, and I want you to come out and play. And I didn't even know the whole song. And, he just got me up on stage, and he played drums behind me, and we had a friend jump up on bass, and I just did it. And I was terrified. There's a video of me out there somewhere. My hair is just completely covering my face intentionally that way. And I did not look at the crowd the whole time. I was so embarrassed. But afterwards, the song ended, and I just felt this amazing. I just felt so good. I loved it. It was like, I definitely noticed at that moment that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was. And, people I mean, I made mistakes. People didn't care. Everybody was just there to have fun. And it's really that simple. It's really that simple. Every time I go up on stage, I think to myself, I'm here to have fun. I always have fun. And the crowd is here to have fun. They don't come to a rock concert expecting perfection. They just want to have a good time. And that's what we do. We have a good time, and it's always fun, and it's never perfect. And that is totally okay.
So now when you get on stage, what does it feel like?
It feels energizing. And it's always a thrill seeing the crowd for the first time. We go out and sound check, and all the seats are empty. And it's very, there's a lot of reverberation, and nobody's soaking up that sound yet. And then we don't we don't go on stage again until the place is full. And that is always, I think I'm immediately struck with just so much gratitude that people are coming to hear us. And I maybe a little bit of surprise sometimes that people are there to see us and are so excited about it. But yeah, I'm always very thankful to see a crowd so excited when we walk out on stage. But definitely energizing. Some days I can't wait to go out there, and I'm just bouncing off the walls. And some days I'm like, I could really use a nap. But as soon as I go out there, it always feels the same. I mean, I feel amazing. I love it.
You did something that not a lot of people have done. You've actually played at Carnegie Hall. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have. I've sang at Carnegie Hall, and that was just one of the amazing experiences I've had. I had as a high schooler, actually. It was, I auditioned for something called the Honors Performance Series, a program for students and singers to take the trip up to New York and be in a choir with people from literally around the globe, all across the US, and other countries as well. And we all came together in New York and rehearsed for a few days, and then we had the big show at Carnegie Hall, and that was one of the most beautiful spaces I have ever been in. I have dreams in Carnegie Hall to this day, like where I'm just walking around. Wow. It is so dreamlike. I mean, it's ethereal. It's really amazing. So yeah, so I keep saying the word amazing a lot because that's kind of how I feel. Like everything is, with looking back at it, it's almost hard to believe that it happened and that I was actually there. And it was a great memory. I was in the women's choir, so a lot of ladies who were just amazing singers and pushed me to be better. And I learned a lot about harmonizing with others. And I was an alto, and it was hard for me to be in the middle of all these voices. And I definitely, it helped me train my ear a little bit. And Carnegie Hall is built to be the perfect acoustics. So going in there, when you start singing, it was just, I tried to soak up every second of hearing, the choir that I was a part of, just hearing that sound. It's like nothing you've ever heard until you actually go there. It was really cool.
And that's one thing that always strikes me about watching you in any performance I've either seen on tape or live is you soak everything up, which is such a good thing because there are so many people that just aren't present in their life. And to see that you just want to take it all in and love every moment of it. And that's so nice to see. Now, you were only in your first month of college when you joined forces with Tommy DeCarlo. So how did that happen?
Yeah, that was a crazy time in my life. So yeah.
And also for anybody who has, kind of been under a rock, tell us who Tommy DeCarlo is.
Yes, Tommy DeCarlo is the current lead singer of the band Boston. So More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, all those hits came from Boston. And he's currently singing with them. So I've had the absolute honor of sharing the stage with him for about 3 years now. And yeah, as you said, I did join the band right after I started my freshman year. I met them over the summer after I graduated high school. And, we're all Charlotte current Charlotte residents. And so, of course, through the music scene, you meet people, and I always knew, okay, the singer of Boston is here, but like I've never been able to catch a show. And I've been a huge fan of Boston, all throughout high school and everything. So I finally got to catch a show, and to my surprise, they were looking for a keyboardist and a guitarist. And he's the first time I got to talk to Tommy Senior, we call him, because there's a Tommy Junior. He pulled me aside at one of their shows, and he was like, how are you on the keyboard? And this was out of the blue. Like he had actually invited me to sing a song with them. I think I did a Journey song, Separate Ways, with them. And so I was like, oh, that was so fun. And what a cool experience to sing with them. And, I'll remember this forever, whatever, which I will. But yeah, he pulled me aside and, how are you on keyboards? And I was like, oh, I mean, I've played for a long time and I'm studying in college. But in that moment, I had like no confidence. I was like, I don't know, because he's really good on the keyboards. Anyways, so they invited me to sit in a couple more shows with them. And then I got the big invitation to join their band. And I play guitar as well. So they needed a second guitarist. So I was able to kind of fill both those roles. And learning all the Boston songs was so much fun. It is such great music, so well written, and very genius composer. And all the guitar harmonies and keyboard organ parts are brilliant. So that was a fun project to take on, but a little bit stressful going into college as well. It was a bunch of new things all at once. But
so what's road been like for you at 21 years old?
It's so much fun. I love it. I love it. A year ago, 2 years ago, if you asked me, do you think you'd be on the road, with whoever, I would say, are you kidding me? Like, that would be amazing. But I never expected to be here. This is just, it's definitely the time of my life. I love it. We have an amazing band, an amazing crew. And so everybody being on the road together is just fun. It is really, it's really cool. It's really fulfilling to be able to go out to different cities and see, we're in a few new places for the first time, and we see crowds coming out and loving the show. And it's just really cool to be able to share this music with so many people and new faces and make new friends. And I try my best to be able to go out and talk to some people after the show and make new friends. And I love that part of it so much. And now I have friends across the country, and that is definitely the coolest thing to take away from all this, is just meeting new people and definitely all the great memories. I love on our days off, we try to go out and see the cities. We're in Dallas right now, so we did a few historical things yesterday and had some barbecue, which was fantastic. And we just try to explore and take it all in. There's so many cool things to see in all the places we've been, and I love to explore. So it's definitely a dream come true for me, and I'm just so insanely grateful to be here. Definitely.
So how do you then juggle rockstar Peyton and student Peyton?
I don't know if I think of myself as rockstar Peyton. I guess I'm just Peyton. I think it is realistically, it's definitely takes a little bit of hard work and discipline, and doing some reading and homework at sound check and stuff like that, and and on the bus or van, going back and forth on the plane. It really is just a matter of doing it. But I'm studying music in school and arts administration, and so it really kind of ties into exactly what I'm doing right now. And so I'm grateful to be receiving that education and being able to put it into practice right now with my work. And so it's not easy, but it's 100%, 110% worth it. And so
kind of like on the job training.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to my professors too at UNCG. I've had so many really great professors and who've been really understanding and supportive of me being in music and doing this. And I'll tell them, hey, at the beginning of the semester, I have to tell them, hey, I might be missing class sometimes, and I'll do whatever I can to make up the work or whatever. And, you know, can you record your lecture or whatever? And they have been so accommodating and just really supportive. So I owe a lot to them as well.
So you play primarily with an all male band, but recently you and I met when you got to play with an all female band at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. So how was it different playing with all men versus all women?
I love my guys. I love them. I've played with so many fantastic guys throughout my career so far. Playing at the women's camp with our band, Hello Cleavage, we had so much fun. It was definitely different. I think, well, first of all, we had all just met each other. So, you know, that was one thing too. And I feel like we kind of created a bond really quickly. And maybe that was because we were all women and we were all sharing this experience. And I think we just had never had that opportunity. We had all been in bands, but never with women. So just that, the fact that we were all there and we could share our experiences and kind of relate over certain things. And you know, somebody would be telling a story and we'd all be like, oh my gosh, I guess, like, you get it, I get it, you know, like we feel the same way about this. And it was really cool. You know, it was a very supportive environment. Everybody was there to kind of lift each other up. There wasn't a sense of real competition between anybody. It was just, you know, we want to help each other. And we were all there to share this, you know, once in a lifetime experience. And so, you know, everybody was just grateful to be there. So it was great.
What do you take away from that experience?
Wow. Definitely, well, a lot of things. I feel empowered. I definitely, I mean, I don't know if this sounds cheesy, but like, I feel like I can do anything. And I really do. It was really cool to see women of all ages there at the camp. And, you know, I'm 21 and there was, I think, some ladies in their 70s there who were still totally rocking out and just killing it. Seeing Nancy Wilson, seeing, you know, Kathy Valentine, all these women who have been doing it for so long, really gave me confidence and empowered me that I feel like I'm on the right path. Sometimes I feel like I feel anxious or I feel this pressure because, you know, you got to do everything while you're still young, or, oh, now you're, you know, before you're a certain age, you know, you have to have made it or else it's not going to happen for you. And usually that happens when you're, you know, in your 20s. People are kind of, you know, nudging you to make it or find something else to do, because once you've hit a certain age, you know, I don't know, people aren't going to be interested, especially I feel like women have that pressure and men maybe don't as much. And so anyway, so seeing women of all ages, there was ladies younger than me and you know, all ages, just kind of proving that wrong and, you know, and saying, no, like, you know, you can be any age and still rock it out and still sound amazing, still have so much energy and so much passion for music. It just made me really happy. And I know that I can do this for my whole life, which is exactly what I want to do. So I have full confidence in that now.
So how do you, well, actually, let me ask you this first. Do you think that there needs to be more women in music, more women in rock?
Sure. Yeah, totally. I mean, I say yes. If there's any women out there who think rock is not for them or they're being held back, like, you know, do it. Like, this is 100% a women's game. Like, you know, I think that people like the ladies we met, Nancy Wilson and, you know, Melissa Etheridge, definitely broke so many barriers down for women. And so, hearing their stories totally made me emotional because I owe so much to them for, sticking up for themselves in a lot of ways when they had to. But yeah, I think more women should be doing this if they want to. I mean, I think women should be doing whatever they want to do, and nobody should be holding them back at all. I mean, I've been very blessed as being a rock musician, being in this game. I mean, I work with a lot of men, a lot of guys, and I have, they're amazing. Like, our band is incredible. Our crew is incredible. They're respectful, they're supportive. We all lift each other up. It doesn't matter that I'm the only girl. They don't treat me like that, and it's so nice. I don't really have that thought like, oh, I'm just the girl, like nobody listens to me. I mean, I think it's about mutual respect and presenting yourself. If you want people to respect you as a woman, like, you have to be respectful to everybody else, and surround yourself with good people. And yeah, you can definitely do this. Definitely.
So how do you create your opportunities?
How do I create my opportunities? Well, I've definitely, there's been opportunities that have been given to me that I, first of all, just want to say, like, that's I'm grateful for those. But I think it's also about networking and, meeting the right people and keeping up with them, and being, giving of your time and, your talents and your energy for others. Even maybe not expecting things in return always. Doing things for others, and, just putting yourself out there. Even when maybe you're a little bit nervous to do so. That was definitely what gave me my first push, and just connecting with people over things that, you're interested in, making friendships. I didn't even go into music in the first place expecting to do this. I did my first gig because I thought it was going to be fun. And, I formed my first band. Well, I didn't form it, but I joined it with the intention of just having fun in the basement. Like, we really didn't expect to, perform and be on the big stage or anything. So, and then a lot has come out of it. So I think just always, like, your main reason for doing it is because you're passionate about it and that you love it, not because you want to get something out of it or a certain opportunity. And I feel like that's when the greatest things have come to me. And it was a surprise. And it was just because I made a connection with somebody over something that was just fun, or, we were just passionate about. And so, yeah, I guess that's what's worked for me.
I have to say, as somebody who obviously has met you, has seen you perform, for me, I think it's easy to want to help you and easy to want to help you create experiences and opportunities, because you are immensely talented, but you are also just a great human. So, you want to see people like you rise up and people like you shine.
Thank you so much, Marlena. Thank you.
So, what are your dreams? Where do you hope to go from here?
My dreams, I have a lot of them. Well, really, where I hope to go is just to keep doing what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I love playing music. I love performing. I definitely, some of my goals are to write more music and to, release it. And I've done a little bit of that throughout my little career. And it's one of my favorite things to do. So to write more music, to collaborate with other musicians, and kind of get my own voice out there. But if I can be a performing, original musician for the rest of my life, I would be super happy. That's all I want to do.
Is it easier for you to write songs alone or easier for you to collaborate?
That's an interesting question. I think it's easier for me to finish songs when I'm collaborating with somebody. I think that's the hardest part for me actually is finishing a song, because it's so easy to just be laying around and come up with some riffs. So, oh, this sounds cool, or come up with a few lines of something you know, poetry or lyrics or whatever. But finishing it is where I need help. So I've had some amazing collaborators in my career in high school. In my band Irrashional, there was 4 of us, and also then we turned into a trio. We had a great time writing with each other. We released 2 EPs, and I definitely needed the support of my bandmates to you know, do that whole process. And also to talking about confidence and growing that. I mean, when I started thinking about the idea of songwriting, not even songwriting, just thinking about it, I was nervous, because I was nervous too. I think be that vulnerable in front of somebody, like, I wrote this and I hope you like it, you know, and whatever you're singing about, you know, it's usually pretty personal or whatever. And I was very terrified to do that. So, you know, my bandmates were really there to kind of support and kind of validate, you know, some ideas, and saying, yeah, like, you know, whether it was good or not, like, I'm glad you shared it with me. And that was everything for me. So I owe them a lot for that. And yeah, it's always fun to have somebody to throw around ideas with and to kind of push each other when you need it.
You know, I want to say it was Janet Robin and I were talking about it, and we were saying that when you are any kind of creative and you produce something, that's like a piece of you. And when you share it with people and get feedback and things like that, that's like your child that you're you're kind of protective of. And you know, are the bullies going to try and beat up on it, or you know, is everybody going to love on it, or what? So I get that from
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. You know, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking and exciting sharing something with somebody for the first time, but I think you have to be confident in your own abilities, that, you know, the things you're coming up with aren't silly. You know, this is your art, and this is something that you care about. And so sharing it with somebody, if somebody's gonna, you know, laugh at it, just don't, they're not going to, first of all, but, you know, you shouldn't really worry about those people that might bring you down. Just there's 100 people out there who are going to lift you up for it. So
Yeah.
But that was something I had to discover for myself, and I'm glad that I had people to help me do that.
So what would you say to the 5-year-old or the 15-year-old who is looking to do what you're doing?
um, well, I'm glad. Actually, sometimes I do see little girls in the crowd, little 10-year-old girls, and that's my favorite thing ever, when I see little girls in the crowd that come up to me after the show and say they want to be a rock star. And it's easy. I have 2 words: do it. Do it. Like, if that's what you want to do, do it. And I don't want them to have any other ideas in their head besides do it, if that's what you really want to do, you know. I'm kind of an indecisive person by nature. I take a long time to think about things before I actually do them. And I think that there's been a lot of times where I've done that, and I've spent weeks or months thinking, oh gosh, I really want to do that, but I don't know. I'm too scared. Like, is it going to work? Is it going to be whatever? And then I finally do it. Takes me however long. And then I'm like, man, I just wasted 3 months worrying about it. And when I probably should have just said, you know, if this is something you feel passionate about and something that you feel is right, then just do it. And with music, I think it's really like that. If you have a curiosity, explore it. You know, if you think the guitar is cool, just try it, you know, and nothing bad is going to happen. It's something really cool could happen. So definitely explore your passions and your curiosities, especially when you're young. I mean, I was thankful that I was homeschooled throughout most of my education. And since 4th grade till I graduated high school, I was homeschooled, and that gave me a ton of freedom. I mean, I owe my parents everything. I mean, they're the best. But that gave me the freedom to explore a lot of things. I tried a lot of things: sports, music, dance. Music is the one that really stuck. But you know, I I wish that everybody had that opportunity to explore their passions and creativities. And if I can do that for somebody to help them do that, that would give me a lot of joy.
Love it. All right, Peyton, I just have 4 final questions for you. And one of them you may have just touched on, but what's the best piece of advice you were ever given?
I've been given a lot. I like this one. Write the music that you want to hear on the radio.
Share with us one thing on your bucket list.
Write and record and release a full-length album that's all original.
Any dream collaborations?
I feel like I'm living one right now with the DeCarlo, but I don't know, Jimmy Page.
Okay, so Jimmy Page, if you're listening, when the toy companies finally get around to making an action figure of you, what 2 accessories will it come with?
Thigh-high red boots and a Fender jazz bass.
Love it. And last one, how do people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Payton Rose Music, and my website is paytonrosemusic.com.
Love it. And I look forward to watching your star burn really bright.
Oh, thank you, Marlena. Thank you for everything and all the support and love you've shown me. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Marlena Semenza, photographer and visual strategist. Please comment, like, or share this episode, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more information on how I can help you create your iconic image, visit marlenasemenza.com.